Welcome to my audience. This is the Thursday Executive Brief. 5 minutes, 1 leadership challenge, 3 executive moves, 1 action for the week. No theory, no fluff, just execution. So let's get to it. Welcome back to the Executive 5, and today the board does not need more information from you. Let's get right into it. Senior leaders often lose authority in the rooms where they most need it. Not because they lack intelligence, but because they misunderstand what the room is asking from them. They walk in carrying slides, detail, updates, and context. They believe their job is to report thoroughly. They believe credibility comes from proving how much they know. But the board is not waiting to be impressed by how much information you can hold. It wants judgment. It wants signal. It wants to know what the facts mean, what decisions they point to, and what consequence follows if the business gets that decision wrong. That is where many senior leaders dilute their presence. They confuse reporting with leadership. So what's the challenge? A leader walks into a board or executive committee meeting prepared and informed. They know the numbers, the background, the realities, and the risks. But instead of leading with judgment, they lead with explanation. They take the room through the history, the data, the complexity, and the moving parts. By the time they finally arrive at their point, attention has dropped and authority has gone with it. Because the more senior the room, the less it values information for its own sake. Senior rooms value distilled thinking. They respect leaders who can absorb complexity without exporting all of it back into the room. The board does not need every fact you collected. It needs what the facts require you to conclude. This is the real shift in executive presence. At lower levels, strong reporting can look impressive. At senior levels, presence rises when you show that you can carry the detail and still speak with clarity, judgment, and direction. So let me give you 3 moves how to be better at that. Lead with your view. Do not make the board work to find your point. Lead with your view, say what you think should happen, say what decision you are recommending, say where you stand. That does not mean becoming reckless. It means respecting the room enough to start where the value is. The value is not buried in slide 12. The value is in your judgment. When you lead with your view, the board can engage the real issue immediately. The conversation becomes sharper, the room can test your thinking and make a decision faster. If you wait too long to reveal your position, you unintentionally signal hesitation. Move number 2, name the trade-off. Executive presence deepens when you show that you understand consequence. Every meaningful decision carries a trade-off. More speed may create more risk. More caution may slow growth. More investment may improve further position while pressuring short-term margin. The board is listening for whether you understand the cost of each path. Leaders sound more senior when they name the trade-off clearly rather than pretending every decision is clean and painless. A strong recommendation sounds like this. This is the direction I believe we should take. This is the price of that choice, and this is why that price is worth paying. That is judgment. Move number 3, speak to risk, timing, and value. These are the currencies senior rooms respect. Risk, timing, value. If your update does not address them, it sounds operational rather than executive. What is at risk if we move? What is at risk if we wait? Why now? Why not later? What value is created, protected, or lost, depending on the choice? When you speak in those terms, the room does not hear information, it hears leadership thinking. And your weekly challenge? In your next board or executive update, give your judgment before your background. Start with your recommendation, then name the trade-off, then speak to the risk, timing, and value. Because the board does not need more information from you. It needs the kind of thinking that turns information into direction. And I see you next week, Thursday, on the Executive 5. Take care. And that was it for today. Remember, precision beats intensity every time. Execute the move, run the challenge, and I'll see you next Thursday for the next